All right, let's get started. Look, I'm not going to stand here and give you some big motivational speech with a bunch of rah-rah nonsense. That's not what this is about. You all know why we're here. You know what it takes to win. It's about doing your job, playing smart, and putting the team first. That's it. No magic formula, no shortcuts. Just football. Good, fundamental, smart football. That's how we win. That's how we succeed. That's how we dominate. Every single player in this room has a job to do. Doesn't matter if you're the starting quarterback, the backup linebacker, or the last guy on special teams. Every role matters, every play matters, every rep in practice, every meeting, every moment you spend preparing. It all matters. And if you don't think it does, then you're in the wrong place, because the guys who win in this league are the ones who embrace that reality. Football is about execution, consistency, and preparation. It's about playing your role to the absolute best of your ability every single time you step on the field. This game isn't about talent alone. If it were, the most talented teams would win every single year, and we know that's not the case. The teams that win are the teams that prepare the hardest, that play the smartest, that don't beat themselves. We can't control how big, fast, or strong the other guy is. What we can control is how well we execute. We can control our effort, our focus, and our ability to adjust and adapt. Look, football is a game of situations. You've got to be able to think, react, and execute under pressure. Everybody wants to win when things are easy, when the game is going their way. But what happens when you're down by 10 in the fourth quarter? What happens when the other team punches you in the mouth and things aren't going your way? Do you fold? Do you make excuses? Or do you step up, lock in, and find a way to get it done? Well, that's what separates the great teams from everybody else. That's what separates the great players from everybody else. It's mental toughness. It's the ability to do your job at a high level, regardless of the situation, regardless of the conditions, regardless of what's going on around you. Preparation is everything in this game. If you don't prepare, you lose. If you don't study film, if you don't know your assignments, if you don't know your opponent's tendencies, you lose. If you don't take practice seriously, if you don't work on the little things, if you don't hold yourself accountable, you lose. Every game is won or lost before we ever step onto the field. That's the reality. The teams that prepare the best are the ones that win the most. Discipline is the foundation of everything we do. If you can't play with discipline, if you can't do your job the way it's supposed to be done every single time, then you can't win. You can't have mental mistakes. You can't have penalties. You can't have turnovers. Those things lose football games. Everybody in this room needs to understand that winning isn't about some big flashy play. It's about doing all the little things right every single play, every single down. You do your job, the guy next to you does his job, and that's how you win. It's that simple. Accountability is another big one. You have to be accountable to yourself, to your teammates, to this organization. If you mess up, own it. If you make a mistake, correct it. Don't make excuses. Don't point fingers. Don't wait for somebody else to bail you out. That's not how winning teams operate. Winning teams are full of guys who take responsibility, who hold themselves to a high standard, who never accept anything less than their best. Football's a team game. You can't do this alone. I don't care how talented you are, how many touchdowns you've scored, how many tackles you've made. If you don't buy into the team, you don't belong here. We don't have room for selfish players. We don't have room for guys who care more about their stats than they do about winning. This isn't about you. It's about us. It's about everybody in this locker room. Working together, playing together, sacrificing for one another. You don't win championships in September. You don't win them in October. You win them by showing up every single day, putting in the work, and getting better. Every meeting, every practice, every rep, it all matters. You don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your training. And if your training isn't good enough, if your preparation isn't good enough, then you're not going to get the results you want when it matters most. Look around this room. Look at the guy next to you. That's who you're playing for. That's who you're sacrificing for. When you step on that field, it's not about you anymore. It's about the team. It's about executing your role to the best of your ability. It's about being dependable, being accountable, and doing whatever it takes to win. So ask yourself, Are you willing to do what it takes? Are you willing to put in the work, to prepare, to execute, to sacrifice for the guy next to you? Are you willing to be disciplined, to hold yourself accountable, to put the team first? Because that's what it takes. That's what champions do. And if you're not willing to do that, if you're not willing to buy in, then you're not going to last long in this league.